In 2 Corinthians chapter 11, but I fear lest somehow, as the serpent deceived Eve by his craftiness, so your minds may be corrupted from the simplicity that is in Christ. For if he who comes preaches another Jesus, whom we have not preached, or if you receive a different spirit which you have not received, or a different gospel which you have not accepted, you may well put up with it. For such are false apostles, deceitful workers, transforming themselves into apostles of Christ, and no wonder, for Satan himself transforms himself into an angel of light. Therefore it is no great thing if his ministers also transform themselves into ministers of righteousness, whose end will be according to their works. Okay, so you see, this is a wile of the devil. This is a tactic. And his tactic is he wants to corrupt your mind. He wants to destroy your believing in Jesus. He tries to steer you away from the simplicity that is in Christ. He comes and preaches a different Jesus. He tries to give you a different spirit, like one that doesn't align with the nature of God that we see in Jesus and the Gospels. And so, but he's speaking righteousness. People think that the devil's always going to come like with a steal, kill, destroy mindset and behaviors. But a lot of times he doesn't come like that at all. He has to be sneaky, and he is a deceiver. And so it's his nature to be deceptive. And if he was just a bold, obvious devil at all times, then hardly anyone would bow down to him. But he's not a bold, evil-looking devil most of the time. Most of the time he's undercover and he's very deceptive. And so he will present himself as an angel of light. It says his ministers transform themselves into ministers of righteousness. So they're not coming along and talking about evil, things that are obviously evil, but they are presenting themselves as righteous ones. They're presenting themselves as though they know Jesus. So they're trying to twist the gospel to render you useless. And so some obvious examples that come to mind would be, if you get involved in an offshoot of Christianity like Mormonism. If you go into Mormonism, they believe that you have to have faith in Jesus, but you also have to have works. And so once they pull you off into works, that's a form of legalism, and Christ will profit you nothing. So mission accomplished.